Oh, beans, here we go. Hello, everyone. And good time zone. And what is up, gamers? I've been streaming for 5 years as of yesterday. And I feel good about that, I think. I hope you feel good about that. It's certainly something that I like having to be part of my weekly routine. And I'm doing it again. How has it been 5 years? What is time? Did I think this is where I would be 5 years from now, 5 years ago? Honestly, I don't think I was thinking that far ahead. I think at that point, I just wanted something to do to hang out with people in a very low pressure environment for me. So, hi everybody, welcome in. Hope you had a lovely week so far. Hope everything is going well. It's wonderful to see you. It's wonderful to be present here on stream. I have plans for today, kind of, more or less. They're goofy, but I hope that's okay. What else did you expect from me? Oh no, the camera's drunk. Hold up. Well, I mean, it is a celebratory day, I suppose, but like, come on, camera. Get with it. Okay, that's better. That's better. Anyways, as you can see, I'm wearing my party hat, because it's a celebratory day. So, hello. hello. And I hope you are all well. Anyways, let me say some hellos to some people who are here. Hello, Turnip. Thank you so much for the lurk. Have a lovely, lovely lurk. I very much appreciate it. It's nice of you to be lurking. Hello, Dan. I'm here for the start of the 5-year stream. Hell yeah! Welcome on in. It's wonderful to see you. Hello. I cannot guarantee that we'll get a lot of painting done today, but I did have somewhat of a plan. So that's a thing. And, I don't know, 5 years feels like a large number, so I wanted to do some hopefully entertaining self-reflection and also looking back at some largely embarrassing clips of the channel from the last 5 years. So, oh no! Let's see how much nothing I do has improved in the slightest, despite my best efforts. Anyways, hello Bambi, it's wonderful to see you. Welcome on in. Hello. And to Sledge, my dearest darling, happy anniversary to you too. I say happy anniversary to Sledge because today is the anniversary of the day we first met in person. Like the first time we ever hung out. So, that was on this day in 2014. It was 12 years ago. Can you believe to learn? And what a wonderful 12 years it's been. Anyways. And for 5 of those, I've been streaming. My very first... For anyone who doesn't remember, because I get the... I'm going to go out on a limb and guess that most of you weren't here at the time, because I'm pretty sure I had an average of about 1 viewer. No, 2. 2, because I can tell you one person who still watches my stream. No, 2 people who still watch my streams were there for my first stream. I'm pretty sure that Sledge, my moderator / spouse, was. And also friend of the channel, Joe. I remember they were in the chat for my baby's first live stream, and I was so grateful to at least have, like, one person there for moral support, because I was so nervous. I was such a nervous little bean, and let me tell you, my microphone was so bad. I'm pretty sure we replaced it after, like, 2 streams, because it was just awful. Alba, hello, welcome in. It's so good to see you. Welcome. I hope you're having a wonderful Thursday. It's Thursday, right? Yeah. Either that or I'm streaming on the wrong day, and it's a miracle that anyone's here. I don't know anymore. Anyways, but yeah, it's lovely to see you. But my baby's first live stream was an FMV game from the 90s that I found on Steam that was like a Sherlock Holmes like mystery game, but oh man, it was some of the acting was surprisingly good for the vintage and genre of it. Some of the acting was, you know, they're trying their best, and I respect that, but I also don't think, I'm not convinced those were their real accents. But what just happened? Bambi! Bambi!
Oh hell yeah, Bambi Geek just subscribed. Money's for Bezos, change for streamer.
Thank you so much, Bambi. Thank you for the sub. Enjoy your emotes and stuff. I am planning to do a little brand refreshment party after the anniversary week here. So you'll probably be getting some fresh emotes and also some fresh stream gubbins, because I've had the same BRB screen since 2021, I believe. And I feel like, or maybe 2022, I don't know, but it's been a really long time. And I feel like we can do something that's a little bit more accurate these days. We keep the floating horn, though. Yes, I would never get rid of the floating horn. Are you kidding? It took me like an hour to animate that thing. There are so many frames in that animation. Like a stupid number of frames in that animation so that it's a nice, smooth, slow float down. That took me a long time. We are not getting rid of it. More accurate, says Dan. You mean you don't scowl into your hot beverage anymore? I try not to scowl these days. It's more of a resigned sigh if I'm not trying to keep my spirits up. Also, I'm in that artwork. I'm just wearing like an oversized sweatshirt as a dress, and I tend not to do that when I'm streaming. I am in fact wearing trousers under. I am actually wearing a dress, and I'm wearing trousers under my dress. So yes, she stays forever, says Bambi. I would never get rid of the floating horn. Actually, speaking of horn, I am streaming Silksong as normal tomorrow, but there is a fun anniversary surprise, which may or may not stick around, or may appear intermittently following tomorrow's stream, depending on how well it is received. I don't want to say what it is, because it's stupid. But, well, you'll just have to wait and see, because I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to no spoilers for Silksong. No spoilers for Silksong's stream. But today I'm in a celebratory hat. But, yeah, so that's something I've been thinking about. Just going back and looking at, trying to find, I actually did go back and try and figure out, because I don't have an archive of streams from the very beginning of my streaming. I tried to go back and figure out, when was my first art stream? Because I started out just doing game streams, and then I decided a few months in that I was like, I really want to do art streams as well, but am I even good enough to do art streams? And I decided that screw it. The only way that I'm going to do art at this point is if I'm being held publicly accountable, because during 2020 I just kind of stopped producing artwork and I was really depressed about it. And I was like, you know what might actually force my hand a little bit better is if it's on a schedule and there will be people watching me do it, so I have to do it. And I've been consistently producing art since. Is it any better? We'll find out today, because this painting is going to be an attempt at a glow-up of Terry's very first artistic appearance, which is not the first thing that I ever painted on stream. I can show you. Life-size Hornet costume confirmed, says Dan. Have you seen my Hornet costume, Dan? Because it exists. Hold up. Let me see if I can find it fairly. It should be fairly easy to yeah, okay. Okay, yeah. Just in case anyone missed it, I did do a costume for Halloween. I wasn't on camera. Actually, was it even a stream day? I can't remember. But I did do a costume for Halloween, which you can see right here, because I posted some pictures to Instagram. And yeah, it was Hornet. That is just a red skirt that I'm wearing over my shoulders like it's a poncho. And I photoshopped myself into some landscapes that I had pictures of on my phone that we can pretend are like, oh look, it's Shellwood, and my studio, my needle is the wrong size, but it's the largest one I have. Actually, I probably have a tapestry needle somewhere that's bigger. Here I am in the mist, I guess. Yeah, so that's a thing that happened. Here's a video. I think the sound's off, but you get the idea. And I am just wearing, like, my pajamas under it, so whatever. Anyways, so that was my costume. But yes, I have done a Hornet cosplay, so I hope you like it. It's really embarrassing. Anyways, but this is my anniversary stream, and anniversary is like, for nothing if not embarrassing the streamer is what I figure. So here's a couple of things to note. Actually, I should just put this in chat so people coming in later will be aware of it. I have removed the cap on terrible drawing time redeems, and I have also lowered the cooldown time. So that's a thing. They still cost channel points, mostly just because I don't want like mean people who don't go here coming in and like redeeming things that I have to like delete. Because I don't like being bullied. Anyways, hello Joe, thank you so much for the happy anniversary, and hello to you. Joe again was in the audience for my very first live stream, and I'm forever grateful for that. And is lurking. Hope you have a lovely lurk. Thank you so much for lurking. I'm gonna take a sip of my tea, which for some reason smells like gingerbread even though it's mint. Tastes like mint, smells like gingerbread. What? Cool. Dan says, Did you know that anniversary is from the Latin annus, meaning butt, and verso, meaning very big? This is correct. I do have a very big butt. You are right. And thank you so much for calling it out. I appreciate that. Bees, welcome on in. How are you doing? It's lovely to see you. Hello. They like big butts and they cannot, like, you know what? Like, who doesn't appreciate a booty? You know? Whether it's for aesthetic purposes, whether it's for, you know, for your own purposes of, like, being comfortable to sit on. It's a wonderful, beautiful thing. Just like the Queen song. Anyways, Leaky, hello. Welcome in. Thank you so much. I hope you are well. Albus is happy 5. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it, everybody. Love a big juicy dumpy, says Chris Sharpies. Yep. Alright, if y'all want to see the very first thing that I ever painted on an art stream, on this live stream, on the internet, on Twitch, it was this. It was this little, like, square oil painting. And it was an oil painting of all things. I've done, like, 3 oil paintings. And this is one of them. Is it good? It's fine. I can see a lot of problems with it where, like, colors blended that really shouldn't have. Like, there's black that got into places where it should not be, and just as a piece, is it good? I never really came back to doing oil paintings that much, just because I don't have the patience for waiting for layers to dry. And I just generally prefer the aesthetic of watercolor. I don't know, something about, like, the canvas texture I find harder. So it's been mostly watercolor in the meantime. I do still want to pick up some more gouache paints because I do enjoy gouache, and I don't really have any, so that, you know, that'd be nice. But yeah, let me catch up with chat. Dan says Sir Mix-a-Lot likes big butts and cannot lie. His brother likes big boobs and always lie. You may ask one question. Oh, that's... I will never be able to solve this riddle. I'm not smart enough. Bees says I'm terrified of oil painting. For a second, I thought you were saying you were terrified of that oil painting, and I'm just like, it's just a serene figure wearing a flower crown with a very bisexual gradient in the background, and I don't think you're biphobic. At least I hope not. Anyways. But oil painting it's a whole kettle of scary. I mean, Bob Ross makes it look so easy, but, like, he's Bob Ross. So, I don't feel like, yeah, no, anyways. Mariax, my dear friend, says, I had a whole spiel worked out today. After my phone told me I've been following you for 5 years today, but as someone who's been here since day 1, you should be very proud of yourself and what you created, and I think you're really cool. You're really cool, and thank you so much for being here. I genuinely, like, I obviously would not be here if nobody else was here. You know, I would have streamed to an empty chat, like, 3 or 4 times and been like, okay, well, this is boring, and makes me feel sad, and then left. But people hang out here for some reason, and I'm so grateful, and thank you for that. It's nice. You are wonderful people, and I'm so grateful that you ever choose this page to click on, to look at and listen to and hang out in. It's an honor, and it's a responsibility that I take very seriously, as you can tell by, the clown costume. Anyways, Beast says, "No, I love your oil painting. I'm terrified the process of oil painting is a watercolor artist." Oh yeah, it is so intimidating and scary. Every once in a while, I will, sort of like be talking to somebody else who does art, and I will say that, so we'll be talking about like watercolor or whatever, and they're like, "I'm so scared of watercolor," and I'm like, "Why? It's so fun. You should do it. You should do it." Oil painting, on the other hand, oh my god, no, can't do it. I do, like, the oil paints that I have are actually water soluble, which is wild to me, and does make things, I think, a little bit easier, because you can just, if you need to thin it down, you can just use water, which is nice. But anyways, League uses Dan's working on puzzles for boob prints. I see. Don't give the adult-rated games creators on Steam ideas, or do, actually. I don't care. But it's blueprints, but every room's just got boobies in it. What if? Don't do that. Or do. I don't mind. Anyways, the reason that we're painting this. Do you want to see a piece of my old art? I'm gonna do this in a really janky way. How am I gonna... Okay, I'm gonna name it... Doop. And I am adding a new source to this scene in my stream in real time. Not that one. This one. Okay. And... Oh, God! Where did it go? It was there and then it disappeared. Where did it go? It, like, disappeared. I'm perplexed. Okay, this might take me a minute, because that did not work as expected. Let me try again. I think it appeared for like a second and then it disappeared again. So let me try that again and see if we can get it to work this time. Okay. Okay. Please work. Yay! It worked. This is the first ever painting I did of Terry the Forg Mage. I hope you like him. He likes you. Yeah, this is a vintage Terry. And I thought it would be nice to do something that, like, y'all know and recognize as, like, the first instance of something that is actually memorable and meaningful to stream today, to go back and redo it. And maybe make it be, slightly better piece of art. I mean, I actually think this piece is pretty cute, but, Neo, hello, welcome in. It's wonderful to see you. You can't really see, but I'm doing heart hands. Hello, and welcome. Thank you so much for, being here. It's lovely to see you. Welcome on in. I hope you are well. I was absolutely expecting the technical difficulty screen to get involved in this process, says Dan. I nearly did. Neo wants to know about coffee. Okay, here's so, something that's been on my mind in the last 2 days. Because my coffee scale, and indeed the only kitchen scale that was functional that we had in the house, is borked. The buttons don't work, And instead of just going to like 0 when there's nothing on it, the number just jumps around randomly, and I can't switch it off without taking the batteries out of the back. So, yeah, our scale is dead, which means that I had to make a cup of coffee without being able to weigh out the amount of coffee that I put. So my standard recipe for coffee, and obviously your mileage may vary depending on like mug size and grind size and the type of coffee you're making, the type of brewer you're using, yada yada yada. But if I'm just making like a filter coffee, which is what this is, in a mug that, if I had to guess, is probably about like 300 milliliters, somewhere around that, somewhere in that ballpark, is the size of my coffee beverage, with milk and stuff added to it. So probably about 250 grams of water. And in fact, if I'm doing a V60 pour over, it is exactly 250 grams of water because I weigh it out. I use between 14 and 15 grams of coffee beans, grind them, and then, make my method of choice. Can't do that when my scale is dead, so I had to use the dreaded scoop. And you know what? My coffee tastes fine. It's fine. It doesn't taste overdosed. It doesn't taste underdosed. It is a perfectly cromulent cup of coffee. It's a nice cup of coffee. It's the festive blend from Ozone Coffee, who are based in London, I believe. Coffee is hot and bitter like the singles in my area, says Dan. But, yeah, you'll see a lot of times that, like, a lot of people who are very serious about coffee are not fans of, like, the scoop that you often get given with, like, a coffee brewer. Like, my AeroPress brewer came with a plastic coffee scoop that is supposed to give you roughly the correct amount of coffee for a single cup. And I'm not a huge scoop user. Like, when I'm at home, I will, if I'm out and about, if I'm, sort of like at somebody's house and they have a scoop, I'll just use the scoop. I'm not going to bring my coffee scales with me if I'm traveling, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not, I can't waste precious luggage space on a scale. I'm not going to do it. So, but because you get that, the scoopiness is imprecise in the same way that, like, people who are, generally, I feel like British people have been using scales for like baking measurements for longer than like North America does, because a lot of recipes from North America, you still see like measurements for like flour and stuff in cups, and obviously if you were putting a scoop in, like your flour scoop into a bag of flour, it's not necessarily going to be the exact same amount of grams every time, but you're probably going to get a reasonably consistent result. Like, it's probably going to be fine. And if you use a scoop to measure out your coffee grounds, it's also probably going to be fine. And if the scoop produces a coffee that you find delicious, then whatever measurement that scoop produces is probably the right measurement for your cup of coffee anyways. So, like, I'm not mad about having to go back to the scoop when it turns out this is fine. It's fine. Yeah, anyways, I just pour my instant coffee powder straight into the cup until it looks like the vibe I want, says Neo. You know what, that's fair. And hey, like, if I make instant coffee sometimes in the evenings when I'm just like, I need a decaf. I need a decaf to be sleepy. And I use a teaspoon. I just put a teaspoon in. I'm not weighing that. Anyways, Moriax says, I don't know why, but I assumed you had, like, burnished bronze balance scales. It made sense in my head. Oh, I wish I did. I had a, like, extremely, boring, utilitarian-looking, black, like, digital scale that was about that size, with a little weighing area, like, about the size of this painting, and then a little display screen down here that when you switch it on, it would say hello, and I missed that, because now when you switch it on, it says just a whole bunch of garbled gobbledygook that suggests that my house has been cursed. So, I love that for me. Though that being said, I do like the, I used to have, like, an analog scale that was just one of those ones that has, like, a little um, like the little circular thing on the bottom, and then on the top is a little like containy that you put your things into in order to weigh them out, and then that thing gets weighed down, and it makes the little like number indicator go round. You know, the little finger that points to whatever amount of grams it is. Um, I do appreciate that. I feel like the digital scale is a little bit more precise, but not so much when it's just telling me, this weighs question marks, and also I won't switch off. It's very scary. Anyways, everything is still in cups, so they have started recommending spooning the flour into the cup instead of scooping, says Bees. Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. I have actually attempted to convince my mother to just get like a digital kitchen scale. Because they do have them, at least in Canada, like they sell them in Canadian Tire for like $20. Um, I've been tempted to. I did actually, though. That's right. I did actually try. I think around Christmas time to order a digital kitchen scale from Canadian Tire to be shipped to my parents' house in Canada. Um, but I think it gets confused because like I'm in the UK. I don't know if I'd have to like maybe if I use like a VPN, told the VPN that I'm, so use like connect to like a Canada VPN so that Canadian Tire thinks I'm in Canada. But then if I got to like the payment bit and I tried to put in the billing address as United Kingdom, would it be like, meh, 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 meh? I don't know. Anyways, might have to wait until we go visit and we'll just sneak off to Canadian Tire and be like, congratulations, parents, you have a kitchen scale now. Anyways. Bees says, I currently have cobalt, cerulean, phthalo blue, ultramarine, and turquoise. One has to go in order to put my new Prussian blue in. What do I do? Ah! No! I'm so sad. All of those colors are good. But I feel like where does Prussian blue land on the warmth to coolness scale? Which one is the most similar to it? I feel like it's I feel like it's a little, I feel like it doesn't want to swap out with turquoise because it's not a particularly greenish blue as Prussian, unless you want less greenishness in your blueness. I don't know. All of those blues are good blues. That is an impossibility. How am I supposed to pick? I don't know. Anyways. But yeah, welcome to the stream. Hello. I hope you are all doing well. It's nice to be streaming. It's nice to continue being streaming after so many years. I don't know what I'm doing. This is the thing. I still don't know what I'm doing. Like, what am I doing here? Nobody knows. Not me. Definitely not me. But I'm currently scrolling down my Instagram page to see if I can get to what the heck kind of art was I making in 2021 that I can show you and be mildly shamed by. But also, that's like an interesting. There are some artists where I feel like going back and looking at things that they produced like gazillions of years ago, or even like a short amount of time. Like I've seen people be like, "Oh, look at how dramatically sort of my art's improved over the last year," and I'm just like, what? How? What sorcery is this? What the heck? But also going back and looking at my old art, it just mildly horrifies me how much time has passed that doesn't feel like it's been that much time. Like, I see stuff like fairly far down in my feed and I'm like, no, that wasn't that long ago. What do you mean I made that 3 years ago? What do you mean? No. Like, got a sewing project here that apparently I made 3 years ago. How many sewing projects have I completed since then? Another two. That's so depressing. No. So yeah, that's how I'm feeling about art right now. But no, it's all good. Um, I was thinking turquoise because I can mix it easy, says Bees. Well then, I mean, there's your answer. The Neo's suggesting cerulean is a good mix replace, maybe. I mean, are you going to take whichever color you're getting rid of and just bin it? I hope you're not just binning it. Because like it's still good presumably. Bees says, I saw a video where the thumbnail was like, this is why following tutorials isn't making your art better, and I was so sad. Oh man, that is sad. I mean, sometimes, I bet it depends on the tutorial in question, whether or not it's making your art better. It's a complicated thing. But also, I feel like a lot of the kind of like instructional and just general like internet-y content, the ways that things are worded is to try and get your attention, get a reaction out of you, and then get you click on the video, which ends up being like pretty innocuous, actually. Things like, you've been using your eraser wrong this whole time. You're supposed to click on it to be like, what, do you think I'm stupid? Or like, oh no, what have I been doing wrong? That kind of thing. It's supposed to like surprise and bother you enough into finding out what the hell they're talking about. Which I find really manipulative and annoying. I don't like feeling like I'm being manipulated. It feels bad. Maybe that's because I grew up autistic and gullible. I don't know. But if I can see the ways in which I'm being manipulated by things like clickbaity titles and that kind of thing, it just makes me not want to click. I'm like, no. I think that no. Anyways. But yeah, just taking it out of my palette, getting ready to traveling. Are you gonna do some painting of your travels? Because that'd be really cool. That's something I always want to do when I go traveling, and then when I'm actually there, I'm like, I don't feel like painting. I've been walking for hours, I'm tired, and then I don't end up doing anything. And then I just end up coming home and doing a painting based on like a photo I took. Anyways, but I always have the ambition to do it, and that's the important thing, because if you don't even have the ambition to do it, then you'll never do it. Neo says, the thing about art journeys and pace is that some things one improves in are more visible than others. Maybe you've been improving massively on a healthy mindset in work with art. Oh, 100%. Yeah, absolutely. In the time that someone else has developed their perspective practice, one's more visible than the other, but it's both valuable. Absolutely. And it also depends on like what is your focus? Like, what are you focusing on improving at? Because I'm sure if I dedicated myself to teaching myself like the ultimate method of producing like realistic pencil drawings, I would be able to produce realistic pencil drawings within like a year. But I don't want to do that because it holds no interest for me. There are things that I do want to work on this year that I feel like I want to put a little bit more focus on. Like I want to work more on doing like pose practice and that kind of thing, like just doing like little like life drawing-y pose sketches and that kind of thing for sort of anatomy and getting better at like weird poses and just actually making myself not avoid foreshortening as often as I do, because I hate foreshortening. But yeah, no, I completely agree. Moriac says, to get real for a second, yeah, absolutely. I genuinely think the constant pressure to improve at all times is kind of unhealthy, and the main thing you should be is did you enjoy making the art, and does looking at it make you happy? If you did, you're succeeding. Yeah, absolutely. I also completely agree about this. It's like to me, I think the continuous improvement idea, and that is a continuous improvement. There's a business term for you. I can tell you because I've had to have day jobs that continuous improvement is a business term, and I do think at a certain point it becomes a fully like unsustainable thing. I mean, obviously there are always things that you can like learn and like trying to better yourself as an artist and learning new things and all that kind of thing, like no matter what it is, whether it's just like I want to practice more, or I want to get better at this specific skill, I want to take up this medium, whatever it is, that's fantastic. But like you don't have to have like a linear chart of like, here are my old drawings, they're poorly, you know, sort of proportioned anime characters, and here are my good drawings now, and it's just like a straight line from A to B. Like that, you don't have to do that. And also there's no set timeline for like, you know, what am I trying to say? You get it, I think. There are artists who are extremely successful who just draw like blobs, just like a blob with eyes, but they make it funny. You know what I mean? Like, who cares? Anyways, it doesn't matter. I enjoy learning new things and like expanding my skills as an artist because it's interesting and it's fun. And I think there are things that I'm producing these days that don't look exactly like the things that I would have produced like 10 years ago. Here's one that I painted this past weekend. It's I'm sorry, it's Star Trek, but also I think it turned out really cute. So I'm sorry to make you look at it, but it's my stream. I do what I want. Anyways, and then there was this one that we almost finished last stream, but we didn't quite get to the end of. So congratulations, you are the first people to see this completed portrait of Craig the Toad Wizard. And I don't think this looks like something that I would have painted exactly like this 5 years ago. For one thing, at some point I figured out that my scanner, when I go to scan in paintings so that I can display them adequately online, because generally trying to just like take a photo of it with my phone ends up with like weird shadows and cropping issues and that kind of thing. My scanner blows out that no matter how I try and tweak the settings, my scanner will blow out my watercolor paintings and make them look way sort of like lower contrast and more washed out and pale than they are in real life. And it wasn't for like, I don't know, probably a solid year of streaming before I actually figured out, you know, I maybe need to actually go in and post in like Photoshop and do a little curves adjusting to get my paintings to display as vibrantly on display screens as they do in real life. So, I mean, that's an improvement if nothing else, right? As long as your art is providing value to the shareholders, then you're succeeding, says Dan. Are y'all the shareholders? I feel like you're the equivalent that I would have of shareholders, so I hope you like them. Anyways. Bees is going to the in-laws to a baby niece. Oh, congratulations! That sounds like fun. So I don't have time to paint, but I went over the holidays and didn't bring my supplies and wanted to paint a lot. Oh, that's a mood. I brought a ton of art supplies to go visit family over Christmas, and I finished one sketch, and I haven't painted it yet, and we're moving away from winter time, and I'm definitely going to be finished this wintry little painting by spring. It is just a painting of my Blorbos from Star Trek. If anywho. But yeah, Nia says the sole idea of continuous improvement is in many senses problematic, but once someone has a digressive illness, it's straight up predatory. Ooh, yeah. This is another thing, is that I think a lot of, inadvertently for sure, but a lot of the, like, advice I see for, a lot of like general advice, whether it's like health advice or art advice or creative advice of any kind by just randos on the internet who seem to think that their opinions hold value, which, okay, fair. I mean, I'm out here giving you my opinion, so what the flip do I know? But a lot of it just ends up feeling very like, it feels a little bit not inclusive. Like the whole, I've seen people say like, if you're not sitting down and creating a piece of art every single day, like if you're not doing art every day, then you're not serious about it. And it's like, okay, but what if, like, what if you have, like a disability? What if you have like a fatigue illness, Is someone not serious about being an artist just because they're chronically ill and have some days where they just can't do much? Like, they might not be able to leave bed, or they might only be able to, like, maybe shower and have some lunch. Like, that seems mean. and get in the bin. And I say this as someone who's lucky enough to be, like reasonably functional, but has to rest a lot more than I think the average bear. Sometimes I can't. I can't for like several days at a time, and that doesn't mean that I'm not taking it seriously. That just means that I'm trying to take my health seriously as well. And if I sacrifice the doing of my health in the name of like I gotta lock in, if I'm not doing this I'm not gonna win it, then like I'm just gonna get worse. That's the difference. I put value in the process rather than the outcome, says Bees. Yep, so my outcomes are still very rudimentary looking, better than when I started, but in it for the fun of painting. And that's like the best reason to do it, I think. So like hell yeah. If you're not enjoying the process, what are you even doing here? You know what I mean? Like it should be, the creation should be something that in some way, shape, or form brings you joy. Sometimes for me, it brings me a respite from the brain worms that will not let me that will not let me stop feeling sad until I'm creating something, and just kind of kicks me into like emotionally neutral space. But that's better than feeling sad, so I'll take it. Bees says, I get the, oh, you should sell these when I paint for my mom and some others. And I very intentionally do not do that because I do it for fun and don't want to make it a job. I think it's really important to have hobbies that you don't monetize. And I understand people's like they mean it in a very complimentary way, because they mean that they think that it's, that it's good and it's nice and that there would be an audience for it, and that's fantastic. But 100%, I absolutely agree. You need to have hobbies that are not monetized, because if you monetize everything that you enjoy in your life, it runs the real risk of sucking the joy out of things that you like to do. If it ends up becoming business, you know what I mean? And yeah, I do sell my art from time to time. I've got some orders to put out in the post tomorrow, so I hope that the people who bought things from me enjoy them. Thank you very much to the people who bought things from me, by the way. I have a shop. There's a link in the chat. Anyways, but yeah, like beyond this stuff, I have other activities that I do in my life that in no way I would monetize. Like I knit stuff sometimes, and I did actually used to sell knit things on Etsy, and I stopped because I was like, no. Any unsold stock ended up just taking up so much space in my house that I didn't know what to do with. And like the return on what I was able to sell things for was not worth it in terms of my time. So I was just like, nah, I'm good. I don't want to do this for money. I just want to do it for fun, and that's totally fine. Leaky says, I feel like my regular practice of drinking coffee has a negative effect on my continuous improvement in napping. Oh, geez, maybe you need to work on balancing that out, friendo. Neo says, sometimes art allows me to feel sad or angry or anything else. I think it doesn't have to be joy, but it can also be valuable to the human experience in general. Oh, absolutely. I'm not discounting like vent art, that kind of thing. I actually had an idea for a painting that I want to do while I was in the supermarket crying the other day, so that's a thing. And yeah, that would very much be a piece of vent art, I suppose, or something that, is a bit of an emotional release. And that's important and cool. Moriak says, oh, speaking of jobs, I hear there's an opening for a sweet English lady who knows a lot about baking. In brackets, get Sammy in the tent. Oh, I don't know if I count as English. I mean, it is my first language, but I don't know if I count. Also, what was I gonna say? I can't eat wheat anymore, which I don't know how I would bake off tent not being able to eat wheat, just because like I'd have to taste things that probably have ingredients in them that are not safe for my tummy, which is probably a bad idea, all things considered. But I did actually apply for the Bake Off. Like, the first year that I lived in the United Kingdom, I applied for the Great British Bake Off, and I didn't get in, probably because I had no good pictures of my baking at the time. I had like very bad phone photos, and yeah. But oh well. It's fine, and probably for the best, because I probably would have gone out in the first week and I probably would have cried on TV. And that feels bad. I am scrolling backwards through my Instagram because I want to find a couple of early pieces that I did on stream. I picked the little Terry sketchy just because I think a lot of them just aren't as like interesting. But there's this piece that I painted, which I think was one of the first things that we painted that wasn't the oil painting, and I think I also did like a lino cut fairly early on. But I don't have an archive of streams going back that far, so I genuinely don't remember. Like, shrug. But there's this piece, which is fine. I don't know, it's weird. I think it's just because it's a really old work of mine that I've seen it so many times that I'm like, yeah, it's fine. I don't know. Like, what would I do differently with this now? I also don't know. I just don't know. I did have someone who was very mean once, and I don't know if they meant to be mean or if it was just like the way that they worded things, but it felt very confrontational, who like commented on a piece of art that I'd posted and was like, I went back to look at your older art because I like to see how artists have improved over time, and it looks exactly the same. Don't you want to get better as an artist? And I'm gonna be real, this was like 10 years ago, so this is going back to like extremely old art of mine and then looking at extremely older art of mine, and they were I was just like, what up? I mean, if I were to compare and contrast art, like my art from 10 years ago versus my art from like 15 to 20 years ago, I'd be like, yeah, I think it's different. And these days, I think it's bad. But, like, what? Don't you want to get better? Like, oh my god. What is wrong with this person? It was so mean. I genuinely don't know if they were like trolling or trying to bully me, or if it was just like a genuine question that was worded in a really awkward way because they were just trying to seek clarity because they had a misunderstanding of how artists work. I don't know. But yeah, that was odd, I think is a fair way to put it. That felt odd. And I didn't feel good about it. And the fact that it's stuck with me for this long tells you how much I didn't feel good about it. But on the other hand, you know, I kept making stuff anyways. Because, I'm going to take a sip of my tea. I haven't done any painting. Oh no. Should I correct this? Should I do something before we hit the ad break? Because I have some additional programming for after the ad break. I hope that's okay. You can probably see from here how many tabs I have open in this browser window. And all of those tabs are largely super old stream clips. Because I wanted to go on a little journey down memory lane to remind us of some of the frankly dumb shit that I have done over the years and embarrass myself. Because what is a streamiversary if I'm not embarrassing myself, right? So that's on the cards for after the break. We are going to have a break in about 2 minutes. I'm so sorry. I cannot change this. I'm not allowed to. Or I can change this, but then you have to see an ad before you come into the stream, and I feel like that's worse. And I don't want to do that to y'all because it sucks. Ooh. Actually, this was... Okay. This was... I think this was... Yes, this was painted on stream. This piece, which... You might recognize that pumpkin ghost because that pumpkin ghost got adapted into an emote. So that little guy's still sticking around. Like, they're just here. Anyways, we have a terrible drawing time from Dan. Hell yeah. I'm going to have to start it after the break because I don't have enough time before, if that's okay. Terry the Forg Mage rocking out on stage with Trivium at Sammy Fest. All because that one user came in with news that Trivium had a new drummer, I think it was. It is a band I've never heard of. And I think this user's way of like connecting with people is to just share like interesting news that they've learned about that day. And I'm here for it because I always want to learn about new stuff, whether it's like a new TV show is happening or whatever. It's all good. Thank you so much for the claps, Leaky. Thank you. I hope you enjoy your Kiwi situation. Q2, thank you for the birthday wishes. I have been a streamer for 5 years. Can you believe to learn? Hello, it's lovely to see you. I shall hydrate as well, which is the timing is perfect because we're gonna go into a break fairly soon, and I'm gonna need to go to the bathroom. Anyways, before we go, Neo says, if I can get no, my chat. I can't scroll chat. Okay. Neo says people will talk shit about literally any artist. I remember a Drawfee episode where Karina mentioned that a comment once called her a diversity hire, and it's stuck in her head, and the rest of the scene is just Nathan getting the angriest dude ever. What the? Pardon my French, but what the fuck? That's so mean, and also like blatantly not true. Like Karina is friends with everyone else who is also on the channel. And also an incredibly skilled artist. What the hell? We also have an affirmation, which I will also do after the break. I have to go on break now. Because I don't want anyone to miss anything because ads are happening and ads are about to happen. So, have a drink, have a stretch. I have to go pee, so I'll be back in a minute. And we'll do an affirmation and a terrible drawing. I love you all. BRB. Okay, now we're back. Sorry, I unmuted the mic 2 seconds before the ad break actually ended. So hopefully, I stayed quiet for long enough that nobody missed anything. We've been asked to do an affirmation, so I will do that. I've got my little deck of affirmation-y cards here. I'm going to do my very best to shuffle. This is my pirate affirmation deck. I really want to make one of these, like, for us with like, stream-relevant art on it. I think that would be really fun and cute. But these are lovely in the meantime, made by the artist Illustory. I don't have a link to their shop, but I will stick their name. If you want to check out their work, there's their name. They do really, really beautiful artwork. Gazillion out of 10 do recommend. They're very cool. Anyways, they do a lot of fan art for Good Omens, which is not a show that I've caught up on. But if you're into it, that's also they do other just like general art as well. But yeah, anyways, cute art, very pretty. They do a lot of like work with like colored pencil on like sort of gray toned paper, which they get this really sort of like luminous vibe from it. It's very cool. I like it. I have yet to figure out how to. I do actually have a set of colored pencils, but I have yet to figure out really how to integrate it into my work. But I think I could find a way. I should do more mixed media. I should be mixing my media more. I think that might be fun. Maybe that's a goal for this year, is to mix my media more often. Get some gouache in there. Get some thingies. You know, thingies. What is the word I'm looking for? Colored pencils. I just said it. I've also got a box of crayons. I want to try and incorporate crayon into some work. Anyways. Okay. I have card. Let me do a little flip. Alright, our card is, "You are stronger than your anxiety," says this little man, and honestly, I'm really grateful for that, because woof. I'm an anxious little bean, and I've actually had a lot of anxious, I don't know if you can tell, but I've had an anxious time this week. It's been a week, notwithstanding like the stream stuff and the stream anniversary stuff, which is incredibly fun. I've had a really difficult time with some other things happening in other parts of my life. So yeah, that's a thing. Just for clarity, my health is fine, or as fine as it ever was. My marriage is fine. We are in love. These things are fine. Just for assurance purposes, these things are fine. But other parts of my life have been very anxiety inducing and very not fun. And so this is a nice assurance. Anxiety sucks. And the fact that you're still doing stuff whilst having anxiety, damn, like, that is powerful. You are a powerful warrior. You are like that's okay. So just move, like, disappearing entirely from this affirmation card and going off on my own tangent. I'm pretty sure some Klingon somewhere has said this. It was probably Martok. He's a cool dude. That, you know, being brave isn't being scared about things or having no anxiety about anything. It's feeling those anxieties, having those fears, and doing something anyways. You know, like, that's super brave, frankly. And yeah, you're out there doing stuff and having anxiety. Like, damn, you should feel really proud of yourself, because it's hard and it sucks. And good for you. Anyways, these things always make me feel emotions. So, we've already got a Terry in the corner over here. I'm gonna pop a Terry up in the corner here. It's terrible drawing time, everybody. And I need to, this is gonna be so silly. I need to, my I'm going live announcement didn't get posted on Mastodon. I think my Mastodon server was having a moment. Well, I've posted it now, so anyone just joining us from my Mastodon announcement, I'm sorry you missed the first hour of stream, but I also didn't do any art in that time, so you didn't miss much. Bees says doing art in front of people is so brave to me. I have thought about streaming art and it terrifies me. It terrified me. I think the thing that makes me feel braver about it is the fact that I am sitting alone in my studio and I can't actually see any of you. If I was doing this before a live audience of people and I could see how you're reacting, or if you're just, like, getting up, if I was in a room doing this and I was, like, painting and stuff and chatting, and I could see people just, like, get up and leave, you know, like, stuff of nightmares. Whereas here, you know, if someone gets up and goes to the kitchen and makes a cup of tea, or, like, tabs, you know, closes this tab and goes to do something else, I don't see that. It also helps that my streaming software doesn't tell me how many people are watching the stream at any given time, because I would get really intimidated. If I see the number dropping significantly, I get really intimidated, because I'm like, oh god, what am I doing wrong? Pick it up, get it back, get it back, get it back. My energy is going to be off because I'm suddenly starting to feel insecure and panicking. Versus if suddenly, like, 500 times as many people as are usually here are suddenly watching the stream, I'm going to start panicking because I'm not used to doing things to such a large crowd. So I appreciate not knowing in actual, like, granular numbers how many people are here at any given time. I can see, you know, that, like, the names of people who are active in chat, but that doesn't, you know, necessarily, those aren't the only people who are watching necessarily. So I never know how many people are here. It could be 35 people. It could be 4 people. I don't know. And that's kind of freeing for me. That makes it feel a little bit safer and a little bit more comfortable. Anyways, Kakalakola has said something that's not in English. For moderation purposes, I would appreciate English chat, because I'm going to have to run this through Google Translate. I'm assuming that you won't have said something that's like a slur, but I do want to know what you just said. The last thing I translated was into Estonian. Let me just get that into detect language. And a good morning to... Oh, okay. That was just Ohayo gozaimasu. Good morning to you too. Ohayo. Anyways, but yeah, oh, thank God I didn't just close my stream. I thought I closed my streaming software. I just minimized the window. Oh God. Imagine if I just disappeared. Anyways, good morning. There is a big tangle at the bottom of my hair, and I need to extricate it before I can continue with this drawing. But I do have a terrible drawing time request to do. Oklahoma? No. What? Hi. Anyways. I love your stream and I'm so glad I found you. And I'm so glad you're here, Bees. I really do. Leaky says, I appreciated the clarification that you're not dying of divorcing. No, no, no. We are very happy and we are okay. You're still here, no blue gradient or facepalm emoji happening. Yippee! Yippee skippy. I'm so glad I'm here. Okay, what was this request? Let me pop into my little moderation queue and see what was it that I was supposed to draw. Moderation queue. No. And see what was it that I was supposed to draw. Moderation queue. No. And see what was it that I was supposed to... Shut up. No, that was nightmarish. I'm so sorry. Okay, where is it? A terrible drawing. Terry the Fork Mage rocking out on stage with trivia at Sammy Fest. Okay, that I can do. I'm so sorry for the infinite loop. It's a pun. Ohio sounds like Ohio, which is a state in America, hence Oklahoma. I see, I understand. Okay, thank you for the clarification. I'm not always the brightest. Dan says, oh, okay. I do see what you did there. Joe says infinite loop. I'm so sorry. I did wonder what was happening. So Sleeky, I'm so sorry. I needed to get the terrible drawing time request. Anyways, as I said, there is no cap on terrible drawing time requests today. There is still a cooldown because it still takes me a number of minutes to do it, but I have removed the cap, so harm me as many times as you want, I guess. When we're done with this, we will take a little walk down memory lane, and I will make you watch some embarrassing clips from previous streams over the last 5 years, some of which you may have missed if you're new here, so I don't know, that might be fun, hopefully. I can't be objective as to whether or not I'm a funny or fun individual because, you know. Anyways, I have 5 minutes on the clock to try and draw Terry the Fork Mage. Rock it out! With a rock and roll band, starting now. I'm pretty sure they're like a metal band, I believe. I don't know. Neo says my brain is breaking. I'm so sorry. Okay, so here's Terry. And Terry is absolutely... is this the correct direction to be holding a guitar? I don't even know. But, well, you know what? It is now. It is now. And you'll see in a second exactly what kind of instrument Terry is playing here. And it's very important to me that it is, in fact, it's a keytar. Because keytars are rad. Wouldn't a Fork Mage be more into hip-hop, says Kakalakola? There's a whole story with the band Trivium, which I still haven't heard any of their oeuvre. But, it's because a member of the chat came in, and as their like first message in chat was just to tell us that this band had a new drummer, and I'd never heard of the band, so I was like, okay, tell me more. Who is this band? And they did, and I appreciated learning a new thing, so that was fun. And I've since had several terrible drawing time attempts at drawing things related to the big and near the tummy of guitar placement. I play the guitar. I should know how you hold. Yes, this is the way you hold. Yes. There's like spotlights on him and stuff, and then we're gonna have like a drum kit back here. Don't ask me how drum kits are. There's another drum here. Maybe. I don't know. And then like they've got like a cymbal that goes crash here, and like another drum over here, maybe. I don't know. This is the drum kit. And then there's a little guy. He's a little bit further behind Terry, so he's a little bit smaller, and you can't really see that much of him. So I'm gonna give him some hair, and he's got his drumstick there, and he's doing a big rattlety boom crash drum stuff, and having a great time. And you can't really see the rest of him because it's behind this big the big drum in the middle. And this is a metal band, I believe. So the band's name is written in a completely incomprehensible scribble, obviously. And then there's like another guy over here. Gonna have the cymbal is just kind of wobbling because they do, I think. I don't know. There's no. I'm missing percussion instruments here, but listen, every drum kit is different. There's gonna be another guy over here. This is gonna be the guy that you have in like every band where everyone else is in kind of like matching outfits, and then you have the one guy who's just like, nah, I'm good. I'm just gonna this is the bass player, I think. So here's his bass. It's a flying V bass because, I don't know, this is a cool metal band, and that's what he likes to do. It's also very large. Maybe it's a double flying V bass. I don't know. Anyways, but he's wearing, like, a hockey jersey and cargo shorts, because I said so. Get some pockets on those cargo shorts, just like that. Perfect. And, his little, like, hockey jersey. Okay. I don't know how many more band members. I know I've got 25 seconds left, so this is the band, and then we're just gonna get sort of like a sea of like audience members watching the show. So here's like the stage, and then the audience is here, and they are absolutely just going wild for this performance. There we go. Okay, maybe some speakers so people can hear the music. Shut up! I'm putting speakers in so people can hear the music. Ah, shoot. Okay. You get the idea. This is Terry the Forg Mage, absolutely shredding on the keytar with Trivium, live at a concert venue. I hope you're happy. Have you considered the possibility of Terry being in an acapella? I don't know. Don't think I've ever really considered like Terry's speaking voice, to be perfectly honest, let alone his singing voice. Ironic that your alarm tune is actually a Trivium song. Is it? It came free with my phone. Dallas, hello! Thank you very much for the happy versary. Welcome on in. It's lovely to see you. Terry tries trivializing Trivium trivia. I've still never heard this band. I need to check them out. Thank you to, I can't remember who. Oh, it was Sonic Man, I think. I think their username was Sonic Man, and I really need to thank them for introducing me to this band, because we've produced some pretty rad art out of it, I think. Anyways, so here's a terrible drawing. I hope you're happy. It came free with your phone. It was probably U2 then. Oh God, I remember that. I remember that when like what version of Windows was it that came with the free like U2 album, and everyone was like, we don't want this. Such a weird choice. Anyways, that was really fun. This was the thing I was going to paint today. We are like an hour and a half in, and I haven't actually done any of it yet. And it is kind of a redraw of this vintage Terry piece. But also we haven't actually painted any of it yet. So, oops. On that time when, due to licensing issues, 1984 was yanked from everyone's Kindle. Oh my God. I didn't know about that, Leaky. That's weird. What? That's wacky. Oh my God. Is now a terrible time for me to shoehorn in the fact that this stream has been brought to you by me? The stream has been brought to you by me. I have a shop, just in case you like stuff that I do. I do have a shop available, if you want any stuff. I do prints and stickers, and mostly prints and stickers, but some other stuff as well. No, bookmarks. I also do bookmarks. But shoot, that was the other thing I was going to do today, and I completely forgot to set it up. Hold up. Let's do it right now. Because I can. Let's hope I'm logged into this ding-dong. I'm going to run a giveaway for something from my shop. The link to my shop is in the chat. And I'm going to see if I can... Okay, log in with Twitch, please. One moment. Just attempting to run a giveaway. Which I had completely forgotten to set up before we started. It's been a long, weird... It sounds like some Windows XP kind of nonsense, says Neo. Yeah, but I feel like it was maybe Vista. I feel like it was maybe Vista, because I'm pretty sure that Vista was what we were on when I was, like, a university student. And I remember it being something around the time when I was a university student. I want to say that's the case. But don't quote me on that, because I could be misremembering. Anyways. Okie dokie. Can I? Yes. Can I? Yes. Okay, I'm going to complete that. And I'm going to attempt to start a giveaway. Did I start a giveaway? I hope I did. Hopefully I just started a giveaway. Yay! I started a giveaway. Okay, you should be able to see in chat, a giveaway has begun. If you want to win something in my chat, you must be 18 plus, though you should be 18 plus to be here to begin with. Just put exclamation mark, hell yeah, in the chat, and then let me know what thing you want from my shop if you win. The giveaway will run for the next 20 minutes, so you do have time, and there should be a periodic reminder in chat if you would like to enter. Thank you so much, everyone who's entering. Good luck to you all. And before I paint, I do have some stupid fun things, hopefully fun things, for us to like look at in the meantime. I hope that's okay. I'm sorry if you just heard a little volume chime. Just messing with some things. Yeah, do you want to see some terrible clips of old streams? I hope so. Does anyone remember this old chestnut? Hopefully you can hear it. Absolutely taking the beautiful and emotionally heartbreaking game Gris as seriously as it deserves there. I don't know either. It's very weird recommended additional clips. Who knows? Anyways, let me know if the volume is fine on these, or it needs to be louder or less loud. I did not come here to do butt stuff today, so we're just gonna leave that for now. These are it's a wild time, because I'm gonna be real with you. I don't remember a lot of these. Like, I don't remember a lot of these things happening. A lot of the things that happen on stream are kind of a blur to me, and I more or less forget as soon as we're done. So, you can also see a whole bunch of other users that I follow who are currently streaming, if you wanted to go watch them instead, because this is embarrassing. Though that being said, additionally, you should be following those streamers, because I obviously think that they're very good. And I am correct. Yes. Okay. This one I think I actually posted a short to my YouTube as well, so you may remember this one. Remember when I played Pokemon? I love that Spiel doesn't want to fight. Like, Spiel, like, I got very close to that Spiel, and it just made a little Spiel noise, and then went into the air. Spiel, are you okay? Spiel? Spiel, what happened to you? Should I try and rescue it? I don't think it's supposed to be able to fly.
Okay, someone tell me, is Spiel secretly a flying type?
I think
because that
my
was
favorite thing about this clip is
unexpected.
the fact that
to
is the
say
fact
the
that the
least.
person who created it, they named it Spelium Balloon, which is top tier punnage. I pre-watched all of these clips to remind myself of what they were, and I don't actually remember what this one is, so let's find out. Oh, it's Assassin's Creed. Oh! I remember this.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Hello? Oh my god, look at the beautiful... Hi! Oh, look at your beautiful big brown cow eyes! You're so lovely, yes you are. You're a good girl. Yes, what a good friend. Hello.
Yeah, my priorities are absolutely in the right place. In the, like, sneaky, stabby assassination game, the thing I liked to do most was to, like, pet the animals. I just remember, honestly, almost weeping with joy that you could pet the moo cows. What? What was this? Oh! Yeah!
And I'm going to...
Exactly how the game is meant to be played, says Tells. You know what? Thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, if they didn't want you to pet the cows, they wouldn't let you pet the cows.
Up a little bit further, I think. Up and over. There we go. Okay. Now I can push. Now I can put... No!
Anyways, remember Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori and the Will of the Wisps? I'd love to be able to play those games for the first time again. They're so fun. They're really beautiful as well. Well, this is from 3 months ago, and I'm gonna give you just a little heads up for this one. Headphone warning.
There is beneath me what I would describe as a big boy. Ah, no.
I'm still only like 10% of the way in this game. Will I ever
did the little
finish it?
critter just get got by the trap? Oh my god, it did! Oh, that's funny. Ah! Sorry! Oh my god!
I'm sorry, I'm just reacting to myself. It should be the primary objective in every game. Honestly, I take it as a personal offense if you, like, can't pet animal friends in games. I really think that it should just be, like, you should be able to. You really should be able to. This is a sad clip because, I absolutely loved Super Mario 35, but it was a multiplayer game, and they shut the server down after a few months, which is maybe for the best because I was mildly addicted to it, but it was so much fun, y'all.
You're not actively, like, attacking anyone or anything like that. You're just trying to play Super Mario Brothers as best as you can compared to everyone else, I guess, and try not to die. And you don't really... No.
Doing a great job of trying not to die there. Good job, past me. But yeah, I used to play a lot more different games on stream, and I kind of want to do it again. I've done the occasional game stream on a Thursday, and I'm going to keep doing the occasional game stream on a Thursday. But I think it's going to be a while before I finish Silk Song, so I'm glad y'all like Silk Song, because so do I. This was Frog Detective, which was so cute.
I wasn't expecting this game to have romance in it, and then Sherman came along and just stole Frog Detective's little heart, which is an acceptable crime, because it's cute. I love this game. Okay, Sherman, I'll see you later. Mwah. Okay.
That game was so cute. There was actually there's three sort of chapters of Frog Detective, and they are all so stinking cute. Oh yeah, this one's stupid. This one's really stupid. I'm sorry. This is stupid.
Okay, right. So Sledge has asked why their name isn't Zelda when this game is The Legend of Zelda. A lot of people get this confused if they're not familiar with the Zelda universe, which I am extremely intimately, and can tell you that Zelda is actually the name of the princess, who we haven't met yet in this game, but she features quite heavily in a lot of the other games as a character. The character that you play as is actually Zelda's monster.
Anyway, hope that clears it up. Um, cute, says Coca-Cola. Frog Detective is downright riveting. Okay, I'm gonna save some of these clips for later. Because I don't want to spam them at you and have you get bored with my past amazingness. But thank you for humoring me. But yeah, it's been. I feel like I established very early on that in general Friday morning streams were going to be some kind of two-dimensional, some kind of platformy game. And then someone put me onto Hollow Knight. They were like, if you like this, you should really try out Hollow Knight. And I was like, I don't know. I'm not sure it's going to be for me. Well, here we are. Like 4 years later. And I like it a normal amount. So, yeah. Anyways, do we feel like I can? I don't know if like improve upon is the right word, but thank you very much for the shot towels. Thank you. Hang on. Yay! Terry and Hornet are hanging out. That's adorable. Thank you so much for the shaw. Completely normal amount, says Leaky. Yeah, well, I mean, it is a masterpiece. Therefore, I feel like the completely normal amount is, in fact, you know, a lot. I mean, look at her little ooh face. How could you not love Hornet? She is our queen. She is absolutely our queen. I have to decide what the couleur scheme of this piece is going to be. I think I want to do a reasonably limited palette, actually. I think that might be nice. What color shall I make the sky? What color should I do? I should have, like, decided on this stuff beforehand. But the original piece was, like,
New limited edition blue raspberry fight milk makes you almost as cool as Hornet.
Leaky, thank you very much for the limited edition blue raspberry fight milk. Thank you. I'm gonna take a sip of my limited edition non-blue raspberry holiday blend coffee. If that's okay. It's the closest I have to blue ras fight milk because, you know, my local Waitrose does not stock blue raspberry fight milk. I'm so upset. They used to, and it's just one of the many things that I can't actually find on their shelves anymore. I keep getting, oh man, okay, so my supermarket, like, loyalty card app gives me personalized vouchers every week, and they keep giving me vouchers for these, like, gluten-free tortillas. And I'm like, great, I would love to save £1.50 on a pack of gluten-free tortillas. That would be delightful. I can make myself little tortilla pizzas and whatever. They're high in protein, they're very healthy, yada yada yada. And y'all, they are never available in my local store. How am I supposed to use this voucher that you keep giving me week upon week if it's not something that's actually stocked in my local shop? Why would you do this to me? It's so rude. So rude. So mean. I just want tortilla wraps, damn it. I want to make myself a delicious, you know, thing. Quesadilla, that's it. Anyways. Does your fight milk use real crow's eggs? It's actually plant-based. But thank you for asking. Leaky says shrinkflation means... Oh boy. Shrinkflation means it's now blue-ish raspberry minor disagreement milk. Oh no! Oh no! Message on the local shop's Facebook page and ask that they stock them. That's actually not a terrible idea, Bees. I should every once in a while get, like, an email after doing a supermarket shop that's like, hey, you know, do you have any feedback? And usually I'm just like, everything's fine, adequate. I did not interact with any staff, and I do not want to. I'm too autistic for this. Just enter me into the draw for the gift card that I'm pretty sure no one ever wins. There will be a winner for the giveaway that's happening in chat, by the way. Type !hell yeah if you want to win something from my shop. You must be willing to DM me an address to send it to, otherwise I can't send you your prize, and you must be 18 plus, but you should be 18 plus to be here in the first place. Anyways, Mimicry, hello, welcome in. I hope you are well. Welcome. Thank you so much for stopping in. I hope you're having a wonderful Thursday. Tal says, quick train ride to London, I guess, assuming the big city has all the things. I would hope that the big city has all the things. I'm trying to think of where I know there's Waitroses in London. I know there's one in the Westfield Shopping Centre in Shepherd's Bush. I could check that supermarket. There's probably, there's a big Waitrose next to the bus station in High Wycombe if I wanted to take the bus there, but I don't. I don't know what else there is in Wycombe, but I don't want to go to there. Nia wants an affirmation. Okay. We can do another affirmation. Thank you. What a lovely suggestion. Thank you for that. Okay. We're not going to get any painting done today, are we? Realistically, are we actually going to get any painting done on this? We might not. I don't know. But that's fine. I had this insane idea in my head. Back when I started streaming, I would actually start and finish a painting every stream. And I think it was a point of growth for me where I realized that I don't actually have to finish the painting in a single sitting. I can let it take as long as it wants to. And if it needs like 4 streams to be completed, that's fine. If I do start and finish it in a single stream, that's also fine. I think that was a point. I think that was also a point where I sort of let my art start to develop in like new and different directions to what I'd been doing before I streamed. Because I was allowing myself to do things that had, a little bit more detail, a little bit more complexity that kind of require that additional amount of time. And also just that I'm a real chatty so-and-so. And so if people want to talk to me on stream, I'm going to end up painting less. And you know what? That's fine, though, because here's the thing. If I'm not streaming, if I just stopped streaming tomorrow, I would just be doing significantly less art. I know this because I'm not always great at motivating myself to, initiate a task if I don't have, a routine/schedule to stick to. And I can attempt to self-impose, a routine/schedule, but here's the problem. My brain goes, oh, they told you to do that? Here's the thing. They're a pushover. We can just ignore their instructions, says my brain. Because my brain is not me. There's me, and then there's my brain, and they are not always in agreement with each other. Is this a normal, is this a neurodivergent thing? I don't know. Anyways, I've selected an affirmation card. Oh, it's real reflective, because it's got the holographic. It's got the shinies. This is the vampire deck, by the way, in case you couldn't tell from, the bats and the little blood pouch Capri Sun, etc., etc. The little bat with the face of a man and some vampire teeth. Anyways, let's see what we got. Oh, I like this one. Your past self is so... Oh my god. This was not planned. But in the midst of a 5-year retrospective reflection time celebratory stream, we have an affirmation card to say your past self is so proud of you. And I honestly think that's a really special and really important thing to remind yourself of, that even when it feels oftentimes I feel like my life has not gone the way that I planned at any point in my life where I've had plans for what I want to do going forward in the future. None of the things that I had thought that I was going to do at this point in my life have panned out, at all. Except for maybe, I never planned specifically, get married until I met a person specifically that was the person that I wanted to marry. At which point I very spur of the moment proposed, partially because we were looking at how to extend my visa, and I was like, I think the only way we're going to be able to do it is if we get married. And so I asked him to marry me, and he said yes. And that's how I got engaged. Because, I was, staring down the, my visa is going to expire in a few months, and I do not want this relationship to become, long distance. Anyways, but that's enough. But anyways, my past self. Your past self is so proud of you, and I think that's just a really important thing to, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whether or not your life has worked out the way you've planned, you're doing amazing. And if, like, your past self could see you now, they'd be like, damn, I'm so cool. and, and you should feel very proud, because they would be proud of you. And, I hope that the version of me that started streaming back in 2021, if they were looking at what I'm doing now, I hope they would be like, yeah, wow, you're doing a really good job. They might be like, your setup is still so janky, and you haven't made partner yet, but realistically speaking, that's to be expected. Hey, you're still doing the thing. Congratulations on not giving up, they would say. There are a lot of people who admire you for some reason. Good. That's a nice thing to look forward to. So, yeah, your past self is so proud of you. You're doing amazing. And I love you. So, thank you for the affirmation time. That was nice. Seriously, is this deck haunted? Because that was a ridiculously appropriate card. But, yes. Once again, don't forget, if you haven't entered the giveaway, you can type ! hell yeah in the chat to enter. The giveaway is still open if you did want to. You do have to be over 18, but you should be over 18 to be here anyways. Don't talk about your ages, chat, just for safety. But you should be over 18, and you do need to give me a postal address in order to send you your gift. Mimicry says, seeing your brain is separate, as in, like, aware of the psychological reality of being human thing in my book. Okay. Oh, never mind, the giveaway's closed! Thanks, everyone, for entering. Leaky says, I mean, I know I'm smart. My brain, however, is stupid. I do have the, like, sometimes I will refer to my lizard brain. And my lizard brain is specifically the brain that activates when, like, I have, like, generally, it's like I'm having a response or reaction to something that, like, I can rationally tell you is silly and disproportionate. Like, for instance, when I get super scared because there's a spider in the house, right? I know this is disproportionate and silly. The spider will not harm me. Like, I am not unsafe having a spider in the house. And yet, lizard brain is like, spider, threat, scared, scared, scared. Evict it from the building. You know what I mean? Lizard brain does not understand that. Lizard brain is separate to, like, me as, like, a thinking thought thing. It's confusing. Have you ever played Disco Elysium? I think I got given Disco Elysium and I have not played it. I hear it's good, but sometimes I get scared playing things that are highly recommended because I don't always enjoy them and then I feel guilty about it. So, it's in the wait until I don't feel under any pressure to enjoy this or have anyone ask me whether or not I enjoyed it pile. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Anyways, but yes, I haven't played it, but I'm aware of it. And I hear it's very good. Bees says, we also talk about my body like it's a distinctly different entity from me. Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes it's just like, well, my body is just not cooperating with me today, you know? Like, for instance, I want to go exercise, but I've twanged my back, and I know if I exercise that it's going to make the injury worse. Like, that kind of thing. Anyways, the giveaway is closed, so I'm going to select a winner. So, who's it going to be? Drum roll, please. Who's that Pokemon? It's Bees! Congratulations! Congrats! Please do let me know what you would like in, like, a DM on, like, a Whisper or Discord or wherever you want to contact me where DMs are safe and secure for the giving of the addresses and that kind of thing. Do let me know. And let me know what thing you want from my shop. I will pop a link to my shop again in case you need it to select an item. Yeah, there you go. Anyways. Pigeon! Hi, welcome in. My body is just the flesh mech my brain uses to get around. See, that makes me imagine the brain is, like, has tiny little brain arms and is, like, controlling it via, like, a panel of buttons and levers and stuff to make, like, the arms and legs move around. And I really enjoy that. That's delightful. So thank you for that internal visual. That's wonderful and super fun, and thank you. I'm gonna actually, before I start painting, I'm gonna make y'all look at a couple more clips, because I can, and I do have some more clips, and I want to do the clip viewing before everyone leaves to go eat dinner. So this is another Assassin's Creed adventure. For anyone who doesn't know, my stream schedule used to be like Mondays, Fridays, and Sundays, and I moved the Sunday stream to an art stream on Thursday, because it was too compressed into my week, and I didn't really feel like I had weekends anymore. So I moved it to a Thursday. But there was a while where I was doing a playthrough of Assassin's Creed Black Flag, the pirate game. I love that game. It's so much fun. This was a fun area, so I hope you enjoyed looking at it.
These other treasure chests, then. Because I know there were a couple of them about. What? And flying rats. This is a very special realm I've entered.
I don't know what it is. I just really enjoy, I really enjoy when things go a little bit askew in games. I find that very, enjoyable, I guess. Wait, what was this clip? Well, oh, I remember, okay, no, I remember what this clip is. Okay.
Well, that was a silly bit of a dead end, but never mind. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, right, friends? I can't believe I just died of soup.
Of all the things, I find it personally insulting that, like, the soup will kill you. It's soup. It's supposed to be nourishing. It sustains you. Come on. Jokes on you, says Talls. I already had dinner. Oh, I hope it was delicious. I am having, in case anyone's curious, if anyone wants to share what they're having for dinner, I'd love to know. I am having tonight a very sophisticated meal because it's my anniversary of the first time my moderator / spouse and I ever hung out back in January of 2014. We were just babies back then. We're having a very sophisticated dinner of veggie nuggies and sweet potato fries and peas on the side. I'm very excited. I'm gonna have ketchup. This is from a Pokemon stream.
Assistant, come now, Ray, don't sell yourself short. You've done absolutely fuck all this entire game.
Genuinely, that child was extremely useless and didn't do anything to help us. It was very important for me to highlight that. Does anyone else enjoy, this is a terrible question to ask on my streamiversary because I don't want to receive bad news, but do people enjoy when I do character voices? I do apologize once again for the fact that I did a few weeks ago, I was doing a voice. Now, I thought that I was being I thought that I was being very northern. Two people thought that I was doing an Australian accent, and I will just tell you right now that I can't now do it on command, but my attempt at doing an Australian accent is very different from my attempt at doing a northern accent. I adore the character voices from you, says Pigeon. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. I do appreciate it. And now that I'm like have brought attention to it, I can't do any character voices. Neo says I should make dinner. Thank you for reminding. Please, if you have not eaten and you need to eat. Yes, voices are fun, says Neo. Oh, good, because I enjoy doing them. I think they're very fun. I did actually contemplate going into doing, like, voiceover work, like, as, parts of a job when I first moved here. But it turns out that having a Canadian accent is not necessarily super in demand. And if they did specifically want a Canadian voice for a voiceover for something here in the UK, they would probably get, like, a Canadian who's already a celebrity here, which is not me. So, yeah, didn't end up going anywhere with that. Did not get an agent for that. Oh well. Considering the amount of money I'd have to pay to either, like, set up a home studio and record things remotely and or probably go to places like London and Manchester in order to record, like, in person, I would have made zero money for doing voiceovers here, because currently I live in Oxford and I don't think there are any big studios here for doing voiceovers and that kind of stuff. But yeah, anyways, I mean, you know, and if you want someone English, if you want someone with, like, a British accent of any kind, you'd probably just get a British person, because there are so many of them here already. And in fact, you might get a British person to do a Canadian accent, and I am side-eyeing you super hard because I can tell. Anyways, you're a celebrity in my heart, says Pigeon. Aw, thank you. I would say my most famous voice role of all time was I did the voice of the automated, like, phone directory for the library I worked in for years before I moved to the UK. I was a librarian for years, by the way, in case you don't know. But I feel like I have the vibe. But what was I gonna say? I did occasionally have people, like, come into the library, and, you know, they'd be like, yeah, I was having trouble, like, I remember there was this one time that the phone system was down. It wasn't working correctly. So, you know, you'd ring up and it wouldn't direct you anywhere. It would just sort of, like, kick you back to the main menu because we were having problems with the phone system. And obviously we couldn't announce that over the phone, but we had, like, a message up on the website being like, the phone system isn't working correctly. Please either use the website or come in. But this lady came in and she's like, yeah, I was trying to renew this over the phone, like, all day, and it hasn't been working. And I was just like, I'm so sorry. The phone system is currently down. We are looking at getting it, you know, sort of the provider of the service is working on getting it back up as soon as possible. And she recognized that my voice is the voice of the phone, and she just got this, like, horrified look on her face, like, it's your fault, you're the one who's doing this, as if it was just me answering the phone and been like, thank you for calling, every time, and just, like, dicking around with her or something. Like, that's what it looked like she thought. I was like, no. What? Linky says, I know a few voiceover folk that just hide with a microphone under their duvet. I mean, I do have, like, the microphone that I'm using right now is a pretty good mic. We bought this mic specifically for podcasting, so, like, there is that. But, this room has, I would probably need to stick a duvet over my head, because this room has, you know, like, very hard walls that do, you know, bounce sound off of them, which you don't want in, like, a pro recording. For things like my YouTube videos, this is fine, though. Oftentimes for my YouTube videos, I'm just using whatever mic is in my phone. Though I do have a lav mic as well for YouTube videos, so I should probably be using that. Anywho, Oxford is such a mundane rural name, says Mimicry. I never noticed before. Oh yeah, absolutely. Oxford is named after the ford where the oxen crossed. That's it. That's what Oxford is named after. People are so wild sometimes, says Neo. It was very funny. Okay. Does anyone remember Daddish? Which to this day is one of my favorite series of games. It's one of those games that is made by a guy, and it's just everything about it is, like, my favorite stuff in games. This is my first attempt at playing Daddish from 5 years ago.
Boom. Okay. This is so doable. No, it's not. No, it isn't.
I tried. But this is one of those games where you're just gonna, I guess, unless you're, like, a good gamer, quote unquote, you're just gonna die a lot. This was, I don't remember the context of this, but here we are. I can forgive exploiting peasants, but I draw the line at not being sexy. I have no idea why I said that. I don't think that's a sentiment that I agree with. Anyways. Sometimes I am, how shall I say? I am drawn in by nostalgia. I'm drawn in by nostalgia and my memory of something, of a game. Like, for instance, when I played or attempted to play Mega Man on stream, because I remember playing Mega Man back in the 90s. I don't remember it being this hard. But I think if the game wasn't hard, the difference is it would be incredibly short. Leaky says, it's the river crossing for oxen versus the bridge over the river Cam boat race. Yeah, I mean, a lot of places have really mundane place names when you actually think about it, you know. Peniston, obviously, town of penis, for instance. Another famous example. Anyways. We've got time for a couple more clips before we run into another ad break, so I'm going to make you look at them. So this is the time when I attempted to replay Mega Man 2, because I definitely played it back in the 90s, and I think I did a better job back then somehow,
plop, plop, plop,
despite
plop, plop,
having
plop.
been extremely tiny. Thank you very much for the plaps, Pigeon. Thank you. Oh no! Mega Man's been squashed by a kiwi. Anyways, the field where the chefs work. Yes, that's exactly what Chef Field is named after. There's a city in southern Germany called Trashholm. I actually used to live in an area called Weast, which I imagine is a portmanteau of we and waste. So there we go. Maybe that's Kiwi Man, says Kakalakola. I want to play that game. Just plopping along, that'd be so cute. Anyways, here's my game. It just also made me stressed. Oh, what? What? I'm sorry. What the hell just happened? That was the most unceremonious boss entrance I have ever experienced in a game. It's just like, I am exactly where I think the game wants me to be, and then suddenly, blip, a giant-ass dragon has killed me. What? Wild. Anyways. Pigeon says there are places in England called Cockfosters and Cockburn. Yep, absolutely, 100%. There are many, there's a lot of, there are many streets with names like Cock Lane as well. There's a Crotch Crescent here in Oxford. And also, you see it if you're coming in via, like, the motorway from London. When you get to the first big roundabout that will take you sort of through Headington into central London, you will see, if you look on your left, a sign pointing towards Toot Hill Butts. And I realize that butts in this context is referring to, like, you know, something that has nothing to do with, like, you know, the butt, but the fact that it's called Toot Hill Butts, I'm sorry, that's never gonna not be funny. It's time for a BRB, everyone, so we'll take a little break. Kakalakosis, I mean, there's the New Zealand story, a game where you play as a Kiwi. Oh my god, haven't I not played this? That sounds like it's made for me. But in the meantime, gonna take a little break. We'll be back in a minute. You're not gonna miss anything. It's ad time. I'm so sorry. BRB, everybody. Hi friends, I'm back. Hello. Thank you for holding. Thank you for sticking around. I don't know if it's been mentioned in the chat, but there is a place in Newfoundland called Dildo. Oh, it has been. Yeah, I have a postcard from Dildo in Newfoundland, says Tals. Nice. I haven't been to Newfoundland actually, despite being a Canadian. It's quite far east from where my family is based. Canada is kind of a large country.
Never been to Dildo, but there's lots of them.
Sweetheart! That's personal! I am not going to repeat what he just said. Not far, but sadly not on the basis, Tels. Isn't that near Conception Bay? I just remembered this Kakalakola. There's Uranus, Missouri, or Uranus if you prefer. Their claim to fame as a fudge factory in the newspaper is the Uranus Examiner. No. Leaky in chat says hello, sweetie.
Hello.
He says hello. I can't perfectly emulate my moderator / spouse's rich, sexy voice, but I can try my best. But yes, apologies for the ads, but we are back. Hello. Kekla says there's also F in Ireland. There's also, I'm pretty sure there's a place in Ireland called Muff. Just putting it out there. I don't know if it's coastal or not, and whether or not you'd be able to do any diving in the vicinity. But if you can, that's hilarious. Anyways, the Wikipedia page is unintentionally funny, talking about things like the F in parish, the F in cemetery, and the F in rugby team. That's beautiful. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. Ah, jeez. There's at least one, if not two, places in I believe sort of the islands of Scotland called Twat. So there's that as well. There are billboards for said fudge factory. The best fudge comes from Uranus. Oh my god. Oh my god. You know, you have to appreciate when they're just leaning into it. You do. Delightful. Anyways. Shall I share an additional and very sophisticated clip? As you can see by the name of it, we're all adults here, which is accurate. This was my first time ever playing a Pokemon game, so I didn't realize quite what extent balls were involved. So that did catch me by surprise. So, yeah. I'm so sorry. Okay. This was from a little game called Hollow Knight, a little indie game that I played for like a couple weeks a few years ago. You may or may not remember it.
Okay. Of all the places in all of the hallowed nest where I could find myself in such a confounding humdinger of a situation, this is probably the best one. Or one of the best. Not unhappy about it. Now, just try not to fall onto these spikes. What did I just say? Never mind.
I feel like that is, thank you for the boop, Starlight Rose. Heart, how you doing? It's lovely to see you. Welcome on in. Hope you are well. You have heavy balls. That game. I enjoyed Pokemon Legends Arceus. I have since not played any other Pokemon games. But I should go back and finish it, because I never actually did I never finished, like, the side quest where you do actually gotta catch them all, and once you've caught them all, you have to fight God. I also don't know if Pokemon Legends ZA is as good as Arceus was. I've heard mixed things about it that make me feel like I probably wouldn't enjoy it as much, but yes. Pigeon says, I also want to bring back humdinger into modern vocab. You know what? I think we should. I mean, I just say it anyways because I'm like that. What? I don't remember what this was. What are we doing here? Oh, yeah.
If I can do it. Also, it's super fun. I'm having a lovely time. Believe it or not, I'm having a lovely time right now. Nope. No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Not having a lovely time after all. I wanted this to be the last clip that we review in the clip review, because I think it's relevant to the art streams, especially, certainly. Look who it is. I don't know if I could sleep at night hearing the cries of, like, Crack Bandicoot just quietly lamenting, Mother, why? I didn't ask to be made. Mother, why? What have you done to me? You know? Anyways, that's the original sketch of, in case you don't know, this is my shot, by the way, let's just do, you can ignore that, this isn't meant to be a self-promotional segment. In case you don't know what the deal is with the terrible emotes plural, of a bad drawing of Crash Bandicoot in the chat. Older viewers may remember, we have a segment here called Terrible Drawing Time, where for 5,000 channel points, I have 5 minutes or less to draw a character or concept of your choosing from memory or sight unseen. I have never played a Crash Bandicoot game. The games come from, I think, largely an era and also games consoles that I did not have at the time. So I never really had the opportunity to play Crash Bandicoot games when they were, like, cool. So it kind of passed me by. It was part of the sort of dark period of not really doing a lot of gaming from me. And, so someone asked me, very innocently, I think, to draw Crash Bandicoot in 5 minutes or less. And my attempt looks like those emotes in the chat there. I took that sketch, I gave it a little bit of a digital cleanup and colored it in and made it into some emotes and stuff. And someone named him Crack Bandicoot, which I think is mean, but okay. Anyways, so that's the story. That's the story. Is just I did this drawing and people liked him for some reason. And here we are. ZA is quite different from Arceus, says Pigeon. Yeah, that's the impression that I get. Ooh. Starlight Roseheart says, I just bought D&D character art of my Deltarune character. Ooh, that's super sweet. That's very, very cool. I hope you enjoy it. That's very cool. Kakalakola says, I've been trying to make hot figgins, saying for close to a decade now. You can do it. I believe in you. Keep doing poor Crashed Bandicoot. Yeah, he's Crashed Bandicoot. Are you familiar with the Trash Bandicoot meme? I'm not. I am not. I don't know anything about Crash Bandicoot. I have still never played one of his games. I was asked to draw him from memory, and I attempted to do so. I was like, I'm pretty sure he's like a weird orange-looking guy that doesn't look that much like a real bandicoot, which is an animal that exists in real life and doesn't look like that. And I think he wears little gloves, and he's in jeans, and sneakers. I don't know. My brain has been rewired by someone who shared a lovely story of how their daughter calls him Crash Banuka. I cannot call him anything else. Pigeon, that's super cute. And good morning, Ernesto. Hello, and welcome in. I want to find... I think it's this. Yes. Okay. Specific. Very specific. Hopefully this will work. Okay, there we go. Yeah, this is the box art for Crash Bandicoot 3, specifically from Japan. And I feel like of all of the official art for Crash Bandicoot I've ever seen, this captures a similar energy. As this is as close as it gets to the energy of my attempt at drawing Crash Bandicoot. Yep. I love this art. I think it's fantastic. Specifically this Japanese box art for Crash Bandicoot 3. Kakalakola says, there was a bootleg plush of Crash. It got popular online. The developers embraced the bootleg, making it canon as Trash Bandicoot. Oh, that's heckin' awesome! That's awesome. I do love, like, good, bad bootleg art. There was a SpongeBob. There was a bootleg SpongeBob that kind of gained a life of its own. Oh, what was the name of it? Oh, I need to find it now because it's going to bother me if I don't. Leaky says, I've only played Crash Bandicoot as Nathan Drake inside Uncharted 4. I love the fact that you can do that. That's amazing. Pigeon says, I recommend Crash Bandicoot for those who love challenging platformers. I mean, I'm raising my hand, but I also don't know if I'm up for it. I just don't know. Okay. Okay, please. Yes. Yes. Here he is. The off-brand SpongeBob. Which is my... It even has the Nickelodeon logo. But... if you've seen this one, you know exactly what I'm about to show you. But it's Thule! I am king! And... what the hell happened to SpongeBob? I love that, you know, it's enough of, like, an obvious ripoff that, like, they've put the Nickelodeon Splat logo up here. But what the heck is Thule? Is this Thule? Like, what is... What is... Like, it's not even, like, close to, but a slight misspelling of SpongeBob. It's not like it's SpongeBob or something like that, you know what I mean? It's not like Spingebon. It's Thule. Is that a miscolored hat, says Kakalakola? I honestly don't know. Because he has eyebrows on it. I'm so confusion by this. But I also, it's kind of charming in a weird way. I don't know, I kind of love it. Kakalakola says, when it comes to bootlegs, I have an unhealthy interest in bootleg video game consoles. They're usually cheap NES systems on a chip, packaged to look like contemporary systems. Oh my god, I know the ones of whence you speak. They are so weird. It is so... I love the weird, like, bootleg, super cheap... You'll get ones that are, like, contains, like, 50 different games. And you're like, okay, well, this is clearly not a real PlayStation, then. And then, like, the games are so bad. It's such a weird choice. It really is. But yeah, I just had to show Thule to a friend, says Pigeon. Good. Everyone should see Thule. Thule is king, apparently. So fun. Thule is king. My throat hurts. I need to sip my tea. I have not done any... We are 2 hours and 22 minutes into the stream. I have not put paint to paper yet today. I have to do it. I have to do it before we finish. I have to do at least, like, a lick of paint. Otherwise, what are we doing here? That's the thing that I feel like I've kind of gotten more interested in / serious about, like, thinking about color theory when I'm painting. I usually like to try and rely on, like, using paints from the same, like, set of paints to give my pieces, like, cohesion and to, like, select a color palette in that way. But in the last couple of years, I think I've gotten more serious about actually thinking about color theory and thinking about how I apply colors to things and, different ways of, like, shading and that kind of thing, like using you know, like using instead of just using black, for instance, to, like, deepen a color and make it, like, darker and more shadier, to actually take, say for instance I need this red to be darker because I need it to be like a shadow, then I would add some green to it, right? I want to darken down this blue. We'll add some orange to it, that kind of thing. Doing more of that in the last couple of years. I have basically no formal art education, so I'm just, like, farting around and finding out. So here we are. Yes. Yeah, the Poly Station, the Game Theory Admiral, the Super Mega Sun 4. Yep. Leaky mentions Ashens on YouTube. Ooh, yes, if you like terrible... If you like weird old video games and, like, weird, like, bootleg video game systems and that kind of thing, Ashens, Stuart Ashen, from the channel Ashens, on YouTube, has, like, a bunch of videos about that kind of stuff. It's fun stuff. Yay. Do recommend. And he did crowdfund a feature film called Ashens and the Quest for the Game Child. He's actually made a few movies now, because he did, like, was it a sequel to it? I don't know, I haven't seen it. And then he's made another movie recently that's just, like, a straight-up horror film, which I don't think is out yet. But good for him. Anyways, lots of Norwich lore in that, I think, because he's from Norwich, which is a part of the country I've never been to, so yay! It kind of works in reverse, like using light yellow as highlights for green, says Kakalakola. That's very true, and I do enjoy that. Very, very much. I love watching Ashens. He's got such peculiar content. He really does. There was a live stream that he did once that I don't catch his streams that often, but there was a live stream that he did once years ago, And I don't know if he's done anything similar since, but he literally just took an old, like, Argos catalog from the 80s or the 90s and just flipped through this old Argos catalog with a friend of his. And they just went through all of, like, the weird and wonderful and things that, you know, it's like, oh, my mom had one of those. It was very funny. Very much enjoyed that. It's hard to explain to, like, a quote-unquote normal person that it's like, oh, what kind of TV shows do you watch? And it's like, well, I really enjoyed this, like, 4-hour program of two
Attention.
friends.
Twitch user Sammy Kelsch.
Choppers.
Ripley, hello. We were just talking about my favorite genre of TV show, which is two friends flipping through an old Argos catalog together. How are you doing? It's lovely to see you and welcome on in. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to everyone who's coming on the raid. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Stray Dreams. Hello, welcome in. Lindsay, welcome in. Hello, hello. I hope you are all well. Ripley, I hope your stream went well. Lovely to see you. And Pottery, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome on in. Hello. Thank you for the happy stream anniversaries as well. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, we've been talking about a lot of things. I don't even know anymore. But let me get a shout out for you in the chat. What are you up to today? How's your stream? And Lindsay, thank you very much for the follow as well. Thank you. There we go. There is a shout out for Ripley in the chat. Hello, friends. The plan for today was to basically give a glow up to one of my very early pieces of stream art, because I've been streaming for 5 years. And so I thought I'd take a look back at an artwork that I did around that time on stream and recreate it. Here it is. And we've gotten, as you can see, I haven't actually painted anything. I don't know if I'm going to paint anything before the end of the stream, because we've been a little busy, because we've been doing a lot of retrospective, a lot of thinking about, you know, sort of reflecting on the last 5 years and how much fun it's been. But yeah, streaming Red Dead 2, always a fun day. Oh, nice. Nice. I hope you had a nice time riding your horse and robbing trains and shooting people and eating beans. These are the things I remember about Red Dead 2. I have not played it, but I used to watch my moderator/spouse play it, and it seems like fun. So I hope you had a really good time, and thank you. For anyone who's new here, who's just come in on the raid, welcome. My name is Twitch user Sammy Kelsch. I'm a variety streamer. I do cozy art streams on Mondays and most Thursdays, do cozy game streams on Fridays, and every once in a while on a Thursday instead of art if I'm feeling extra crispy. And we're doing a nothing stream today because I've literally done no painting at all, and we're 2.5 hours in. Oh my goodness, how did that happen? But with that being said, I've had a very nice time with it so far. On yesterday day, 5 years ago, I did my very first stream, which was a game stream of, what was it? It was like a 1990s FMV game of a Sherlock Holmes mystery. So there were like live action video sections, and then you'd have to go like point and click bits to try and solve them. But it wasn't like a point and click game, but you basically just clicked on stuff to try and like solve the mystery. But you could conceivably solve the mystery, know what the right answer is, but you hadn't like clicked on a specific like clue, and it'd be like, no, I don't think you solved the mystery. It was very stupid and extremely frustrating. I had a great time, and I've been doing this nonsense ever since, so yay. It's always a great one, says Ripley. Looking back over 5 years must be a great memory lane to look back on. It's wild. Like looking at we did a little bit of looking at like what did my art look like 5 years ago? Is it, you know, compared to now? Like, is it different? It's definitely different. Is it better? I don't know. I think that's a difficult assessment to make. But it's definitely different. But you know, things like this. This is the kind of art that I was making 5 years ago, apparently. Here we are, just a lady with an apple orchard, having a nice time. And again, I didn't know how to I didn't realize at the time that like all of my watercolors looked super pale when I posted them online, because I just needed to go into Photoshop and like curves adjust them because my scanner blew out the colors. I figured that out eventually, but it took some time. But yeah, so that's what we've been up to. As always, we are an art tech optional stream, so if there's any art or anything that you want to share with the class, you're welcome to do so, but you are under no obligation to do so if you do not wish to. It's all good. Owning an apple orchard is the dream, says Pigeon. Oh man, you know, I do love apples. I do love apples. I had a fairly significant hyperfixation for a bit on like artisan apple varieties, but unfortunately it's really hard to get anything other than supermarket apples where I live these days. And to be honest, I don't actually know what apple varieties my local farmer's market stand is selling. They just have whatever apples they have that week. And I never think to ask. But there's a question for chat. What's your favorite apple variety? Mine's russet. My moderator / spouse is looking at me. 1 second, chat. Okay. Oh, you know what? I still have like 1.5 teas. But thank you. I love you. So yeah, yesterday was technically my 5-year anniversary of streaming. Today is my 12-year anniversary of the first time I ever hung out with my moderator / spouse. Yay! Rambo apple, says Kakalakola. Now that is a variety I'm not familiar with. That's an interesting thing about apple. There are so many apple varieties. Like, apple variety breeding is crazy. There are so many. Favorite is Pink Lady, says Pigeon. Very nice. I do. I mean, there aren't a lot of apples that I actively dislike, to be fair. But I think my favorite is like a good, like an Egremont russet. Delightful. Kakalakola says, hot Fagans, happy anniversary. You are doing such a good job at making that happen. The apples inspired the character. Amazing. You love to see it. Impressive. Crispy and not too sweet, says Tals. Yes. Yes. I like an apple with a good... I think one of the things I like about like the Egremont russet apple is like the texture of the skin on the outside is... It's got that like... It's not shiny, so it has like a different texture to it, which I like. But it's also the skin has a little bit of like a not thickness isn't quite the word, but it's got a different sort of like a bite to it, which I find very satisfying. And also the flavor is just so nice. Cox, I like a nice Cox apple as well. Or Gala. Gala's classic. I think I prefer Cox to Gala if I had to choose one of the two, but both of them are good. Yeah, I like apples. And then there's a lot that there's quite a few apple varieties. I think I've only ever had once because I found them in this this stand in Borough Market in London that is no longer in Borough Market in London, and I don't know where. They're like an apple orchard based in Kent, and I don't know where to buy to get their apples because I'm not. They don't sell their apples anywhere near me. I'm like, no, I want your beautiful artisan apples and flavors that I can't normally find, like Worcester pearmains and what's another one? I can't remember oh god, it's been so long. I can't remember the names of them. There's so many. Anyways, can't get Cox as much out of season but Galas all year, says Ripley. That's true. I do like when I get to see Cox apples in the supermarkets. I feel like I'm not seeing in the last few years. I feel like I'm seeing fewer Cox apples in the supermarket. And it makes me feel very sad because I do think that they have a really good flavor. Serious about apples. That's me. Gonna get another shout out for Ripley in the chat because I can do two different flavors of shout outs. So I'm gonna thank you once again for the raid. I really do appreciate it. You an Asian pear fan? I do like an Asian pear from time to time. They've got like a juiciness to them that I find pleasant, and I like the skin. Don't normally see them in our local supermarkets though. Used to see them back in Canada. So it goes. Maybe I should check next time I'm in an Asian supermarket. But I do like a pear situation as well from time to time. I like a pear that's got a crunch to it. I don't like, the thing about pears versus apples is that in at least most of the pear varieties that you find in like the supermarket is that they go like super soft really, really fast. And I do not like the texture of a soft pear. I like the texture of a crunchy pear. But it has to be crunchy and also taste good. There is like a sliver in the middle of the Venn diagram of pear is crunchy and pear tastes delicious. There's like a little sweet spot here. Over here, it's like doesn't have enough flavor yet, and it's like tannic, so it gives you that like tannin effect in your mouth, and it's kind of astringent, which I don't find pleasant. And on the other side, like the flavor is really good, but the texture is like grit and mush, which I find really unpleasant. If it's raw, it has to be crunchy, otherwise Tesco have them often. Ooh, you must have a big Tesco near you. Because my Tesco is very small. Neos has got a dip. It is honestly so good to be here today. Thank you for the work, doing the work you do. You really make this world a pipe. And no, you do. You are a wonderful person and a treasure of a human being. And thank you so much for hanging out with me today. And just being here in general. I appreciate it. Connie! Hello, welcome in. Thank you so much for the follow. Hello, hello. Hope you are having the loveliest of lovely Thursdays. I'm trying my best. I have wetted a section of my canvas. I haven't put paint down yet, but it is, and it's drying now, but I have dampened it, so we might actually do a little bit of painting before the stream ends. Who knows? Who knows? Ripley says, love a poached pear or just, or raw. It's just a bite of crunch. Yeah, like obviously if the pear is cooked, I am very happy for it to be soft. I'm gonna just go a little bit, I'm gonna get a little bit wacky here with my colors, because why not? I'm gonna start with like a very pale amount of blue, I think, for the sky, which isn't really blue because this apparently I was not following you already, which explains why I never got notifications, says Connie. Well, welcome in. Hello, hello, hello. It's wonderful to see you, and thank you for following now. I do appreciate it. Just gonna drop in some blue, which is gray, because this is something that I started experimenting with maybe like a couple years ago. Started playing with just making myself these little like watercolor pans where I take like a representative rainbow of colors and combine them all with a like mother color, making things a little bit more interesting and keeping the color range a little bit more coherent. It's like instantly applying an Instagram filter to your paintings. It's very, very fun. Ripley says, gotta dip myself to chill, but if you're still on my laptop, if you're still on my pop back and bit, fair enough. I hope you have a good decompression session. I probably am not going to go on for too much longer because I do have to go cook dinner, unfortunately. I know it's my stream anniversary and all that jazz, but I do still need to cook. I'm actually gonna let that dry a bit before I put any purple. I was gonna put some little sort of like purpley cloud situation just to make it a little bit more interesting. But it needs to dry first. But hey, that's not too bad as far as like a first pass of paint goes, is it? I did something. Hooray. Wait, we achieved something. It's, you know what? Good enough. We'll watch the VOD to see retro chat. Aw, Beans. I hope you enjoy it. Kakalakola says, indeed, I need to head out as well, offline stuff. I hope you have a lovely offline experience. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. And I am, I believe, gonna probably dip myself in a minute or two, because I do need to go cook dinner. But I've had so much fun hanging out with y'all today. It's been very nice. If you do get the chance, I suggest looking up New Zealand Story. I absolutely will. Thank you very much for the recommendation. As you know, I do appreciate especially the many birds of New Zealand. Have I ever been? No, but oh man, one of these days, I want to get a nice, long, expensive flight down to Aotearoa and look at birds. And drink a lot of coffee because, it is arguably the birthplace of the flat white. I say arguably because, it is claimed both by New Zealand and Australia, and I'm not wading into that disagreement. Because, I have no stake in this argument. I just enjoy a well-made flat white, so, you know. I also enjoyed this tea. This is mojito tea, so it is a green tea with mint and lime in it. It's very cozy. I mean, it's very cold now. And it's obviously supposed to, like, be inspired by a cocktail. I've never had a real mojito. I just like green tea with mint and lime in it. Why not? Anyways, I hope you like my party hat, by the way. I specifically found this party hat on Google image search for this stream. So I hope you like it. I tried my best. Ugh. Been doing this for 5 years. Am I good at it? I don't know. Are you having fun? I hope so. Am I still like a deeply shy little bean? Yes, 100%. Has it been a real benefit to me personally to be held publicly accountable for actually working on artwork at least once and then eventually twice a week? God, yes. It's kind of, you know, there are definitely days and weeks where I'm just like, I am not feeling super inspired, I'm feeling burnt out, and I don't know what to do, and we just do something stupid. Like, that happens from time to time. But I feel like my skill set and my knowledge has definitely grown just by being here and making stuff and doing things. And I'm pretty proud of what we've been up to here. And I'm not planning to stop doing it anytime soon, so I hope that you still want to hang out with me. In case you missed it, this was the painting that we did last week, or last Monday rather. I finished the last bits of it off stream, and I just please appreciate Craig's little face. This is Craig the Toad Wizard. He's trying his best, and I don't know about you, but I love him. And yeah, yes you are, and yes I am, says Tals. Thank you, Tals. I appreciate it. I really do. But yeah, can I attempt to put down like a second color of paint before we wrap up for the day? I think I can. I think this is starting to dry a little bit, so maybe if I just get some soft cloud shapes. And it's all right if they're kind of bleedy and weird. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. I do kind of want them to be somewhat soft and abstract, and they probably will end up being kind of covered up anyway, so I think it's kind of moot. I am trying to create shapes, but to be honest, it's kind of just bleeding out into being whatever it wants anyway. So, whoops. Yeah, that's just gonna be blobs, actually. Never mind. Okay, well, we have a sky that is in isolation creepy. But, you know, I'm sure it'll get better as we work on it, and I will, I guess, come back to this next time. It feels appropriate to have an anniversary stream where we did basically no art for an art stream. Because what is an art stream if not a just chatting stream with extra steps? It kind of is. I'm going to take a sip of my other tea, which is just, it's another mint tea, because I was feeling minty today. So, mint delicious, delightful. Yeah, I think I'm going to call it there for today. I think things are quieting down. Several people have gone to go have dinner, and I'm going to go do the very same. So thank you so much for hanging out for anniversary stream the first. The anniversary shenanigans will be continuing tomorrow in the magical land of Silksong. I do have a stupid dumb surprise, and we will be hosting another giveaway for some art and stuff. Katie, thank you very much for the hearts. Thank you, thank you. I hope you are well. I'm going to find someone for us to raid if I can. And I'm going to thank you all for hanging out with me today. It's been silly and fun. Oh, good. Windows Defender did not find any threats since your last summary. Thank you very much for that. In case you were wondering what that chime was, that was Windows Defender not finding anything wrong. Everything's fine. Let's go. I'm just going to check and make sure that this person isn't just about to finish, because that would be silly, but let's have a look. Do they seem like they're just about to end? They don't. They've only been going for about an hour. Ooh, making emotes as well. That's exciting and fun. Okay, let's go say hi to Peppermint Swirl, who's making some emotes. I have some new emotes to do, so once we're finished with this painting, I'm going to do some refreshed stream gubbins, I think. Slightly different raid message today. Because today is a funky little stream. I'm gonna pop some emotes in there. If you have the emotes, feel free to grab the stream raid message with the emotes. If you don't have the emotes, you can just say generic raid message. Or append any cool emotes you do have. It's all good. There they are. Sammy has been streaming for 5 years, raid message, it says. And thank you again so much for hanging out with me today. I have just seen that there was an automod message from like an hour ago that I did not know, that I did not see had been caught in the automod web. Oh no. And I don't understand why the hell was that an automod? It was literally a message about Windows 95. There's nothing rude in it. Anyways, I don't understand automod. We're gonna go. The stream anniversary shenanigans will continue tomorrow with some Silk Song. In the meantime, I hope you have a lovely evening. Thank you so much for an amazing time today. Take care, everyone. Good night and good luck.